Welcome to Athletes Lives Network exclusive interviews. Today our guest is Jerome Buchanan, class of 1991, Proviso East, standout football player. How you doing, Jerome?
Good. Thanks for having me.
I want to thank you for being on the website. It's a pleasure having you on, and I want to get your athletic experiences, high school, college, and also pro experience. So first question, just give us a brief history on your early influences in sports.
My first recollection that I can go back to is I'm from Chicago, from the city of Chicago, and everybody's hero at that particular time was Walter Payton. Walter was just that standout athlete at the time. He was one that the city of Chicago could be proud of, and when you went outside to play ball, with your friends, just regular old street ball, everybody wanted to be somebody. You had to be quick with the tongue to say, well, I'm Walter Payton, and then everybody picked on down the line to Eric Dickerson, to whoever else, Billy Sims and all that kind of stuff. So, but that was probably my most positive influence and my first, inspiration to want to go ahead and just play the game was Walter.
What peers at your early age pushed you to be a better athlete when you was growing up?
Well, I can say that, my mother always told me that you go ahead and strive to be the best at whatever I wanted to do. She's like, if you even want to be a bum, this is just, extreme case, of course. She never wanted me to be a bum, but, she's like, be the best at it, who else? A real close friend of the family, Larry Mamula, also was around, at a young age, and he always pushed me to do my best. My cousins and everybody, we were all competitive. We were all growing up together and stuff like that, and we all wanted to be something, do something with our lives and everything like that. And what kind of got, instilled in us at an early age was to, put forth your best, and that kind of, made it kind of competitive, so to speak. I knew on the other side of town that my cousin and them, they were doing their thing, and I didn't want to, be the guy in the rear, just kind of trucking along, kind of struggling and stuff like that. So you just wanted to pick your game up that much more. So.
Gotcha. Now, did you play ball in middle school? Did you play other sports, basketball?
Well, I didn't start playing organized sports till I was 9, and football was my main thing, and that was pretty much it. My great-grandmother, I remember her wanting me to go ahead and play baseball, but I decided, that's not for me. I didn't have an interest in that at all, because like I said, my whole desire was to go ahead and play football. I enjoyed that, so I started playing at the age of 9, and kept all the way through up until, of course, high school, then, graduate from high school to college, and playing arena ball after that.
So growing up, when you first started playing organized ball, was you? I'm gonna say this, like, were you kind of pudgy, so you played a different position, or was you always a skill player?
Honestly, I was always a skill position guy, because I wasn't the guy that had a problem with weigh-in. I was one of the, not necessarily smaller guys, but I was one of those kids that just kind of was at an even keel with his weight. I wasn't, back in the day they had like stripers and double stripers, because you had kids at certain age groups that maybe, probably either had to move up because of their weight, or, you had to, bag them up, so they can like try and drop some weight so they can make way in to be on your particular team. I was never a guy to have to worry about that, so I was always playing the skill positions. My first year, I believe I played like tight end, and like linebacker and stuff like that, and just kind of moved around. As we went on, I started, we had the, the 4-back system, and of course I was playing just 4-back at the time, like the, little motion flanker and everything. So.
Okay. Now, I'm a product of East Chicago, and the Gary East Chicago system never really had a Pop Warner system until the 2000s. What did that do for your confidence playing youth football at an early age?
Well, it gave me some foundation of the game. I started out playing in Hickory Hills. I was playing with the Hickory Hills Rebels way back when. Like I said, I started in 1982. That's how far I go back. We started off, and like I said, like we had the basics on down. We learned, to count the holes. on down the line, you know. So when I got to high school, there was no problem. I mean, they came out with like little pizza tins and just kind of labeled the guard position, the tackle position, the tight end position, and you know, you just had to know your holes on down the line, and that just gave us a great foundation of where to go, what to do, and everything like that. I can remember, you know, my couple last year's coaches. Well, really, the one coach that I really stood out to me was a guy by the name of Charlie Sitar. He, you know, would come after work, you know, and God bless him, you know, whatever he was doing, you know, he came in dirty, nail, whatever, he would come out and teach us the game. And that was my first, you know, collision with tough love, so to speak. You know, he'd tell us, you know, how it was and, you know, what we needed to do and everything like that. And he didn't pull any punches on how he told the stuff. So by the time I got to high school, you know, I was a person that was at an expectation level of, you know, okay, this is what we need to do, this is where we need to be. We need to be up here, you know, because of what was instilled in me at an early age. And I had a great knowledge of the game. I mean, just at that level, you know, I mean, it was an elementary level, you know, it wasn't too complex, but I had that going with me into high school.
Now you're a freshman and you're entering Proviso East. Give me your feelings on going to this high school and your expectations as a freshman going there playing football.
Well, my expectations were high simply because my cousin, like I said, we were very competitive when we were coming up. We still kind of are on a certain degree. But, you know, they would tell me about their youth football team and how well that they were doing. He was on a team that basically dominated. You know, the way they had stuff laid out for them. They had guys like himself, believe it or not, Michael Finley, you know, who's an NBA player,
Wow.
Donnie Boyce, all those guys were all playing on the same football team with him. And they were basically shutting people down. I mean, not really allowing first downs. They just pretty much dominated the league. So when I got there as a freshman, you know, I mean, this was the main reason I came out there, because I knew these guys were competing at a high level. I was like, okay, we were in a position, you know, me and my mother getting ready to move, and I could have stayed where I was at, around in that area, or come on out to Maywood. So I was like, well, they're doing big things out here. Let me go on out here. I want to be a part of this, you know. By the time I got there, you know, freshman year we had a lot of guys, you know, out and everything, but the whole vibe kind of changed, you know, and I didn't know what it was or why this was happening. But, you know, all those guys that were playing and doing very well either weren't coming out or they were in, you know, they were playing, but they weren't feeling like how they once were. You know, they kind of like dwindled off or whatever, you know. And from what I hear, you know, about, you know, around here in East Chicago, it's kind of the same way. You know, you'll have a strong 8th grade team, but by the time they get to high school, most of those guys have like dispersed and gone elsewhere and not decided to play. So, you know, and like I said, we were just like, you know, East Chicago, we're a predominantly black school, great athletes up and down the line through baseball, well, we're really basketball, wrestling, and of course, you know, we had some great athletes for playing football, you know, despite a losing record.
Gotcha. So, after your freshman year, you know, your feelings kind of changed. So now going to your sophomore year, now what is your goals then?
Well, my attitude never changed. That's the whole thing. If you're going to play a sport, you know, have your goals in mind and don't let them go. My attitude never changed. I wanted to continue to play because this is what I've worked for. You know, I'm getting the good grades. I'm staying out of trouble in school and everything like that. Not that I wanted to be in trouble, because I never wanted to bring that drama across my doorstep. But I wanted to, you know, do the right thing and, you know, do what people were telling me to do, simply because, hey, you know, I've got something better, you know, coming down the line. You know, you do what you need to do till, you know, hey, your opportunity comes along. And then, you know what I'm saying? Plus, you're developing, you know, good character at that time. You know what I'm saying? This is the time you have to develop into the person that you're going to be. Gotcha. So I wanted to be, you know, the best person I could be. So I'm like, you know, dotting my T's, you know, dotting my I's and crossing my T's and stuff like that. So I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And I wanted to keep it on down the line. I mean, that's how people knew who I was. I mean, I wasn't the type to, go out for, homecoming or, trying to win the popularity contest. They knew me as, all right, this is, Jerome Buchanan. He's, good kid, plays football, and that's what you tell him to do. That was me.
Got you. So now you're a junior, and now this is where every athlete is on that varsity level, trying to showcase his skills. Give us a little feedback on your season as an individual and also as a team success.
Well, the team was actually very successful. We actually went 4-5. Considering that the previous year, they only won like one game, I think. That was my cousin's senior year. And my cousin Ray Buchanan, he ended up going on. He got drafted by the Indianapolis Colts. Ended up playing in the Super Bowl when he was with the Falcons and all that kind of stuff. He had great success playing the game. But me personally, individually, I did not have a great year. All right, this is the time where, I kind of discovered that. Well, I didn't discover it. I kind of fell into it. The trap of putting too much pressure on yourself, and you end up trying to do too much, and you end up falling off, so to speak. You're trying to do too much thinking. You're trying to, put so much on the line because, I knew it. This was junior year, and this is the time where I could, just come on out and just do what I wanted to do. But this kind of monkey wrenched, my high school career for the most part because I put so much pressure on myself. So, I continued on. I didn't quit. That was the main thing. I wasn't going to quit. Just playing like on special teams and stuff like that. That was probably, what I ended up, just ended up having to do, because I ended up starting as a free safety and ended up, losing my job to, a senior that was there. And, it happened. I regret it, yeah, but, I got nobody to blame but me,
Gotcha. Was there added pressure too, having a cousin such as Ray Buchanan who had success early on?
Slightly, but you know what? At the same time, I'm looking to make my own niche, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, he did his thing and everything, but I want to be able to do my thing.
Gotcha.
I never wanted to say that, man, you just cast such a big shadow. I just can't get from underneath it. I was never the one to kind of glorify my problems, so to speak. I was going to do something about it. Gotcha. That's where I was living at. That's my mindset. It's still my mindset to this day. I wanted to come out. I wanted to show you who I was because regardless of what Ray did and who Ray was, you still have to get to know me. I'm a separate person. I'm not him, I mean, granted, we were raised, around the same type of values and everything like that, but I'm still, my own individual self,